Before a child comes into the school, let the child sign. That is one of the ways you can be able to maintain bullying. We are the first role models to our children. Most children, they come to school and they follow the instruction of their parents. When you get to school, so you are not a lazy person. In our family, we are not weak people. But this discipline they've not gotten from home. It's part of this bullying in school. The child will want to exhibit those characters they see at home. The home is involved in building of morals, characters. The school is another place of molding. And then the top is the society. Many of the children, they are very secretive. That's my community where my other school is now. If a child bullies another child, the parents will be flogged.
The Edo State government has said the parents of the erring student involved in the viral assault video at Igbenedion Education Center, a private school in Benin City, would be prosecuted, as that directed its police command to launch a probe into the matter. This was revealed on Monday by the State Commissioner of Information, Kasim Afebwa, when he appeared on a guest on a television program. Now, Afebwa described the case as disturbing, saying the governor, Monday Okpobolo-led administration has set up a committee to get to the root of the incident. It is not just about the expulsion. We also directed the police to make sure that those students are properly arrested and made to feel the full weight of the law. He condemned the viral video accusing, or rather assuring, that the law will be meted out on those responsible for it. Afebwa emphasized that the Edo State Commissioner of Police, Monday Ugbanika, has assured the state government that the parents of the affected students involved in the bullying would report to the police headquarters in Benin City. He said the CP is keen on prosecuting the culprits upon the conclusion of the investigation to avoid a repeat of such incidents. He also stated that it's a wake-up call for parents and also teachers, because one would expect an educational center like Igbenedion Educational Center to naturally have its own code of ethics in terms of discipline, monitoring, and internal vigilance on their students. But for the fact that one of them videoed the incident and sent it out, perhaps no one would have known such an incident happened, as stated. Now, in the footage circulating widely on social media, two students were seen repeatedly beating, kicking, and dragging a boy believed to be in a junior class on the floor. One attacker used a belt during the assault and another stomped on the victim's chest, leaving him crying in pains. Now, the boy could be heard screaming in pain as another student believed to be recorded in video pleaded with the attackers to stop. Now, the big question is, how did this go unnoticed for a long time with the authorities not knowing, and honestly, how can this barbaric trend be stopped? Well, this and more will take center stage on the show today, and that is stop bullying in schools, especially Nigerian schools. How can this be stopped? That's what we're having as a major discourse. Looking at that very disturbing trend of really what played out at the Igbenedion Educational Center in Benin City, Edo State. There have been a public outcry on that incident, but with our own investigations, we've come to see that many boarding schools seem to also be facing that very dangerous trend, and hence the need for us to talk about it on Dialogue today. But anyway, you do know the tradition we always have. We always have a guest joining us to also be a part of the discourse. And definitely we're having one right here. And she's no other person but Mrs. Abigail Williams. She's an educationalist, and she has a school of her own, so she will definitely be driving it home. Good day and welcome to the show, madam.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, my Craig.
Well, anyway, I would just really want us to dive deep into this, because I saw the video and it was quite disturbing in every sense of it. And many parents would really feel that chill, knowing that their children went through that very disturbing trend. But the most important question is, I'm really short of ideas or answers as it concerns, why do students really bully themselves or other students?
Okay. Actually, thank you. Before we go into why students bully themselves, we have to know the keyword, bullying.
Okay.
What is actually bullying?
Okay.
Bullying is a deliberate act that is often repeated severally.
Okay.
It's a bad habit, a dangerous and harmful character, misbehavior over another person.
Okay.
The essence is to intimidate the other person or to harm the other person. Severally, it goes to us. This habit of bullying is in different categories. We can see that one of them is physical.
Okay.
Yes, this
Which was more like the physical.
yes, this one is physical, which involve the hitting, the kicking, the dragging, the pushing, the pulling. And then we also have another one, which is the verbal. You know, most times when some of the students don't use the physical, they use the verbal. That is to say, calling of names, and then they're in school, they are calling names.
Insults.
Yes, insults and all that. Calling names, big head, mocking one another is still part of bullying. And then we also have the other one, which is the social bullying. You see, a social way whereby you pick a phone, you want to put a rumor about another person. You picking another student, and then you are telling others, oh, this is how the person behaves, this is his character and all that. You are indirectly bullying. And so we also have the cyberbullying, whereby you use phone, you go into the internet, you're trying to spoil somebody's name, or maybe you try to say something that is actually not true. To bring down the morale of the other person. So these are various types of bullying, especially most times, not just only in school. It also happens in homes too. Yes, even in place of work, in the environment too, we see bullying manifested in different ways. It's just to intimidate and to bring one to low self-esteem. When one is being bullied, and then you've been attacked severally, you've been beaten and all that, you discover that such a student or such a child, we have this low self-esteem, cannot even express his or herself in school. You see them, they are moody, they find it difficult to express themselves. They are most times even depressed. You see some, even when you see a child coming back from school and then the next day is telling mommy, I won't go back to school again. No, I'm not going to school. The parents should take their time to ask, why is it that this my child, anytime I say go to school, you see the child is that phobia. The child is scared because he knows what he has passed through in school. So those things need to be checked. They need to be checked. Even as parents, you need to check them. So when these children, they come back from school and they are telling you, I don't like my class. I don't even like my teacher. So I don't even like my teacher. Because anybody can bully anybody. And then it's degrade the morale of such students.
Now, do you feel, I'm also a bit concerned because let's understand the attitude of these children. I'm talking about those that bully others. Do you feel it's a reflection of what seems to be happening in their homes, that they are now transferring such aggression at home down into their social class and amongst their own peers? Do you feel it's more of a
yes. Sometimes it's a reflection of what happened at home. You see, this transferred aggression. We've been in this system for some time. And you see, a child that is not properly fed at home, that has not really, or probably wants to eat this, and you deprive the child of eating that, and the child comes to school with that rage. It's from home, not from school now. Anybody that crosses the child is something else. You get it back. And then you see the child exhibiting it, not because something happened in the school, but it's a transfer from home. And another way, if you may look at it, most children, they come to school and they follow the instruction of their parents. Like somebody was saying, when you get to school, so you are not a lazy person. In our family, we are not weak people. If anybody do you anything, come on, give it back. This is worry. We don't carry last. If I may say that. He said, if anybody just touch you, you just give back. We are behind you. And so when a parent is telling you, we are behind you from home, and then when the child comes to school like this, any little misconduct or misinterpretation, provocation, you just see the child reacting based on what the information the child has gotten from home. And there is another way from home it affects the school. When a parent, sometimes we come to school, a child is corrected in school. And then the child goes home and tell the parents, this is what happened. And then the parents will tie their wrapper. Maybe they will come to school.
You've seen cases like that?
Yes, we've seen cases like that. They come to school to even bully the teachers, shout at the teachers. There is one who just experienced, I think recently, we saw the parents coming and she was screaming, I'm going to kill that teacher today. And then you see the child will say, thank you. My parents are this, they have this energy to fight. So with that, they can bully anybody in school because they have the support and the backup of their parents from home. So most of this bullying is a reference of what happened from home too.
Okay, well, it's really interesting and surprising. Now, one of the reasons that the Edo State government would also be sanctioning the parents of these kids that bullied their mate is that they felt discipline was not instilled at home, and every need for them to also sanction the parents on account of that. Now, let's look at the point of discipline. Everybody feels when you come to school, there's a guideline you need to follow.
Yes.
Every school has its own.
They have their rules,
rules and regulations.
Do's and don'ts.
Child needs to follow, from what they put on to how they even speak to the other child and how they even address their teachers. Now, sometimes you see some very excellent children with beautiful grades, but they lack discipline. They lack respect. Now, let's look at that as a problem. Do you feel a lack of discipline from parents are rubbing in on all of these issues, and hence we're having more of such indisciplined attitude in schools? Let's talk about how parents seem to discipline their children and how that seems to affect.
All right, thank you very much. You see, there is this adage which says, charity the saints. Yes, begins at home. Now, when a child, we're not talking about, in education, we have the 3 levels of education. Okay. We have the cognitive, we have the affective, and we have the domain of education. So it depends on the area the child is actually functioning. Now, the child may be good at the cognitive, which is the brain work. Okay. The child will be very good at that. But this kind of upbringing and discipline, they have not gotten from home. You can imagine a father that's a home that is involved in domestic violence. Little provocation, there is fight already between the father and the mother. And then the children will either be looking for, either they are on the side of their mom or on the side of their dad. And then you see such kind of misbehaviors at home. The child definitely fine, you're doing well in the cognitive, you're doing well in the affective, in the psychomotor domain, yes, you're doing well. But this discipline they've not gotten from home. It's part of this bullying in school. The child will want to exhibit those characters they see at home. Those character of bullying, before the wife will say a thing, the man is on top. Or either before the man will say a word, the woman is on top. And then you see violence at home. The child is learning. We are the first role models to our children. So when they see those characters at home, they definitely go with it. They reflect it when they get to school. And sometimes, little provocation, you just let them react. They will feel they are still at home because this is what they see often. This is the money, these are the people that gave them the first training. That is why the Bible says parents are to train their children the way they should go. Then the way they should go when they come to school is just to build on the existing.
So not leaving the rule.
No, you are not.
Character molding on the hands of the teacher.
No,
or the school.
It's a two-way thing. Not even two-way thing. It's even a three-way thing. The home is involved in building of morals, characters, manner of approach, the way a child should behave. The home should be the first place to carry out this discipline. And then when the child comes to school, the school is another place of molding. And then the top is the society. This group to come together to make sure we build these children, whereby a parent will say, it's my child. I gave birth, yes. I gave birth to this child. So we even come to the school and tell you, see, don't beat my child. Even if he misbehave, don't beat my child. And most times the school will look at, maybe because he's paying good school fees and he's supporting the school. And then they pay deaf ear to those attributes, those bad, dangerous, harmful characters that the child is exhibiting in school. So the home has to take their place You have to take your place. Don't leave your training. You see, they will even come to school and they tell you, when is the closing time for the school? You tell them it's 3 p.m. They tell you, why don't you extend it? They extend it because, one, they are too busy to monitor their children. They are too busy to check their work. They are too busy. A child will even come from school and then is with somebody's property that you didn't buy. And then you're not bugged to say, oh, how did you get this? Where did you get this from? I didn't buy this for you. And then you say, oh, this my child is improving. And for what you didn't buy. So the parents at home should instill the first discipline. And then the school is to mold what you already built. So the school will not build what you have not molded.
Okay, now, I want us to really understand this. And let's just stick with the issue of the parents. Now, you totally agree with me that things seem not to be all too rosy for many Nigerians now. Inflation is at its highest. On the mind, we're having a downward trend of inflation in the most recent time. But these days, when it was in the 70s and 80s, we used to have housewives. Women or wives that were called housewives. But now you rarely see housewives. Both the man and the woman go out to provide for the home, and hence a lack of time for the children. Then if a child is not doing well, the first question is always being asked of the mom. But now most mothers even carry more of the load than even the fathers. Now, let's look at that as a problem. Do you feel one of the biggest issues we're having now is we're now having working class mothers,
Working class fathers, lesser time for the kids, and more of the kids being on their own and taking advice from their peers and the society and social media most especially. So is that another major issue that seems to be increasing the rate and incidence of bullying and also social vices that we have in the country now? The part of it. All right, thank you. You see, if I may ask, what is the reason of going to look for a job as a parent?
It's to provide for the home.
It's to provide for the home.
For the children.
For the home.
Yes.
Yes, that meaning the children, your wife. So that is the reason why you go seeking for job. Yeah. Fine. Now, if the children you go seeking for job for, before you come back from work, these old children are points. They are becoming nuisance. They've made their peers, their influence, all their environment, all the social media, their monitors, their teachers, their instructors, their builders, and even social media are some person's parents right now. Now, if the money you're looking for is to build roads, how will your tomorrow be? The mother is going to look for money. The father is going to look for money. And the people they are looking for the money for are just whiling away their time into the world, building characters from the forest, and then having things you have never imputed. So it's a big problem. For the fact that, fine, our economic society is not fully balanced, that should not make you turn your eyes away from your kids. You should still have time for these children, because all your suffering, your struggle is for these kids, is for these children. So parents have to make out time for these children, to make sure that it should be a time set aside to sit your children down, to ask them, how have you been coping in school? Do you know that, my great, many of these parents don't even check their children's book. The school, they pay teachers to do assignments. They pay teachers to do assignments for their children. They don't care to check their books. Their own is to make sure I paid my fees, I have gotten the books, and so every other thing is left for the teacher. Another one came to school, I think last 2 weeks, and was telling me that the child took her books to another home to do assignment. And then the child forgot the book and brought the books back to the parents. And the woman was like, how come? They asked the child, they said, Mommy, you were not there for me. So I have to go seeking help from outside. So parents are one of the key points. The isolation from their children, the gap is too much, and it's making these children copy characters. And not only that, they will give them phone. And as they are going through their phone, they don't monitor what these children watch in their phones. They go through social medias. They do TikTok. It has even affected their dressing. Even their, you see these things that are going on. Some will even be saying, so this is how you would have hit the head. If it is me, I will even blow off the brain. I will even kill the person. So they copy these things. And you see them gradually. What you keep watching, you become. And what you keep hearing, you become. So if parents can take their time to sit down with their children, to give instruction, to train them, to put them to ask questions, you discover that this bullying of a thing, in fact, it will reduce.
Okay, well, anyway, that's what we're having as a major discourse today. And in light of what really transpired about 2 weeks back, especially with the issue that played out at the Nigerian Educational Center in Edo State, that has got everybody talking and a need for us to sit down, reflect, and indeed investigate. The issues that concerns bullying and how it's becoming a recent trend, or a normal trend rather, in most primary and secondary schools across the country. And every need for us to talk about it. Like I said, we still have no other person but Mrs. Abigail Williams joining us on this lovely discussion. Now, let's return back to those issues. We've just highlighted the lack of concentration, the lack of being there for the children on account of the parents. Now, apart from the parents, the Edo State government will also be questioning the school that how come this happened unnoticed, unabated for a very long time, only after that viral video was made loose. And funny enough, it was even a student that released that video. When they went to investigate with our own investigation on that law, we found out that it was not just that once that had happened. It has become a normal, repeated occurrence of children bullying others, especially senior students bullying the junior ones. So it means it was going on without the school authorities even knowing that that was happening. But thank God you are an educationalist. Do your school entertain children coming forward to report issues of either physical, verbal insults being meted on them? Do the school really allow that? Let's understand that so we can at least trace our discussion as it concerns the school.
Yeah, we allow. You see, before
but do the children come forward to report?
Yes, some of them do. Okay. Some do. And most times, you see, this bullying of a thing, when it becomes even verbal, you know, these people, the ones that bruise the older one, they want to have an upper hand.
Always.
They want to demonstrate their power. They want to exhibit their authority. As a senior student, this is my, you know, you are in a lesser class. We are the senior prefect of the school. So school has given them authority to do that. But not to bull on these children. Not to usurp authority over them. It's just to guide. To join the school, to maintain peace in the school. That is the essence of it. And not just to bull on the children. Most times, you even want to come into a class. Like one came the other day and he said, I want to go into the SS1 class. I even took permission. And the other one just gave me a slap. And he met me in the office and I went, even if this child took permission, fine, you are supposed to listen to this boy. He came for something. No, we are the senior students. And so we don't allow younger ones into our class. Why? This is school environment, for Christ's sake. So children should be allowed. Get this free room to talk, to let them talk. And these children too should learn to look at somebody you can talk to. Among the school, even if you cannot be the authority, your teacher. And that is where teachers making themselves available to be approached. Some teachers, you can approach them. Their countenance, even their own stress from home, they transfer it to school. That is why the last thing you should wear before leaving your home is a smile. That no matter what the stress is at home, don't carry it to the school environment so that you can be approachable. Some are too hard to be approached. And so you see these children are intimidated. They are scared. If I should talk to the authority, they may even discipline me for that. No, let the school give free hands. And that is why the school should have their rules and regulations. Before a child comes into the school, let the child sign. the rules and regulation of that school. That is one of the way you can be able to maintain bullying. If you go to my school now, you see it is based on the words. No bullying, no bullying. In classes, we put it, no bullying. Learn to make reports. When anyone trying to intimidate you, just be calm. Go and make a report. The teacher will know what to do. We have different ways of rendering punishment. It could be corporal punishment. Any kind of punishment can be given. If it is the one that, some children, even students that come to school, many of them are into court. Unknowing to the school.
At a very young age.
Some peer groups has led them into drugs. They take drugs.
At tender age.
I'm telling you. They are on drugs. They are carrying, some even carry weapons to school to fight who? We dealt with one. This boy is an external candidate anyway. He came for extramurals. And so another child, I don't know what, because offenses will definitely come. Foolishness, the Bible says, abides in the heart of children. But the rod of correction will scare away this. And now even the government will tell you, if you spank a child, you discipline the child, if the marks are there, you're going to pay for it, you're going to suffer for it. And you see, parents are dancing. If you dare, we'll arrest you and all that. So most times, even teachers are scared to discipline these children. You may even be disciplining a child and the child goes home. The parents will come in a different form. They may probably because they have the money. I'm going to sue you. And a child was telling another one, if you spank me, I'm going to tell my parents. And then they will call the police for you. Can you imagine? So the child came from outside. They had little issue in their class. And the next day the boy was coming to school. He came with a knife.
Wow.
To do what?
Wow.
And so the teacher was so careful enough. When he was going through, he saw that the boy was with a knife in school. How? We have to trace it to the parents. They have those kind of characters at home. And then we also trace the child to the school and his peer friends. The peer influence. That little thing, they carry knife. Little thing, they carry knife. So you want to introduce this here and kill a child. And then we have to excommunicate that child from the school. You don't even come here again for your extramurals. So one thing is, let there be rules and regulation, not just in the school, in the classes. Teachers should have their personal rules and regulations in their class. Then you don't push a child. You don't push your friend. Let them know they are friends. Yeah. They are colleagues. They are together in one place. They are approaching. They are going somewhere. So they have to love themselves and even help themselves. These rules should be on the wall of the class. We have the one in the office. We have the one in the class.
It's something that you are constantly
yes.
Constantly see, constantly look at.
Yes. Abide to. So teachers' school, the school should provide, every school is supposed to have counselors. Yeah. When it becomes mental issue. Yeah. Some children have mental issue, and yet they still bring them to school. They bring them to school to be taught. And so when the issues of the mental dissent, the child can explode and do anything. So the child should sign. The parents should be involved. The school should be involved. That anything of such is taking place, the parents should be held responsible.
Well, no surprise the Edo State government would be persecuting those set of children. But set of parents, rather. But let's now come back to the school authority. Do you feel this went unnoticed on account of lack of supervision, lack of knowing of the school authorities? That's why it persisted for long. It could be. I started experiencing things I wasn't experiencing before in school. When we started recently, we discovered that the population is not that much. Okay. So we're able to contain. Okay. And we go around. Yeah. We move from class to class. We'll check meeting and checking and all that. And then we also sensitize our teachers on what to do, not to allow such things. But one thing is, when the population of the school increases, when it increases, there is that thing they see that sometimes the authority, their attention is shifted on how do we get more children. So those things your do's and don'ts that you were checking, there may not be time to check those things. And that is why the counselor in school is very important. Okay. And then they should from time to time, like what I do. I think last 3 weeks, I discovered that
a child after they don't fight in school. You don't fight in my school. You don't. So most times they do it when they're going home, or maybe in their compound, and you don't fight with our school uniform. If you do, we'll deal with it.
Okay.
So when I heard of it, you know what I did? I said, with all these things you signed, with all these instructions, teaching, most times I went to the community. I brought the chairperson of the community. We brought the vigilante. We brought different sectors, even the educational sector. We brought them to the school assembly to pass another information if that thing repeats itself, because it is continuous occurrence. When you say bullying, it's something that has been repeatedly over time, and then it is unnoticed, and then it's like the student is having a free day. You did it the other time. Yes, and nobody is giving a report. You know, sometimes they will tell you, see, if you dare, the intimidator, if you dare, see, I'll kill you. If you report this matter, it's not only in the verbal bullying. There is also a sexual bullying. There's sexual bullying. See, if you know I'm your student and I'm the top one. If you don't befriend me, if you don't be my girlfriend, see, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Right. We will beat you. See, I will do this. And then with the fear, because you're trying to intimidate that other person, probably the female sex. Yeah. You are trying to intimidate, and that girl will be, oh God, if I dare now.
Me that these children are intimidated, cannot reach out to their parents or reach out to someone in the authority to complain.
That's why
the problem lies.
Yes, that is why we are trying to let these children know that every little act of bullying, they should give a report immediately. Parents, sometimes they are not there. And that is why you have to recognize what are the features, what are the characteristics you have to see to know that a bullying is taking place. You have to recognize that. One of the traits that your child is being bullied, either at school or in your environment, is when the child becomes fearful, when the child is always scared. Yes, when the child is always scared. Little thing the child is scared. You should know something is wrong somewhere. And then if you discover that that child is isolated. Yes, always isolated and lacks speech. A child that was confident before, a child that can easily approach and talk, is no longer talking. These are some of the signs that something is happening somewhere. You need to sit the child down and ask what is going on. Because of the threats, maybe the child wouldn't want to open up. Yeah. Or maybe if I dare tell mommy I'm dead. Yeah. Did I send you to school to go and did I do this? So parents have to calm down. And let the school too calm down. And let these children be taught all the time to open up. They are too secretive. Mm-hmm. Yes, many of these children, they are very secretive. What they can't tell you as a father, they can't talk in school. They have their pair friends, they share it with you. And those their pair group can't help them. The only way they can to help them is to increase the bullying acts. Don't worry, we'll join you to this fighting. Which one? Who did it in school? Don't worry, we are there for you. That's the only consolation they gave to them. So parents too should find time, look at the trace of bullying. When you see that your child is telling you, no, I'm not going to school today. Mommy, nothing you do, I'm not going to the school again. Try to ask home, honey, what happened? Why do you say that? That the other day, the other child hits me here. The other day, the other child injured me here. That is the reason why the child is afraid to go to school. Go to the school. And some parents will even say, it's you now. You have to stop. You still push the child. And before you know that thing, when the other person knows that I'm bullying this boy and nothing is happening, it will continue. The teacher is not involved. The school authority is not aware. You discover that thing will just escalate. And before you know it, will even lead to killing. I even watched one of the video. The other student was hitting. They were hitting themselves. I'll kill you today. In this school environment. And the other one killed the other one. It was another student that also videoed it. I saw it on social media. That videoed it and circulated it. So the school authority should be opened. They should talk to these children on assembly ground. Bring in the police. Yes. Help for bring in the police. Let them talk the effect, the adverse effect when this bully takes place. What should be the outcome of it? And what should be the penalty? If they keep hearing it every day and the school is singing it, the school will be calm.
Okay. Well, anyway, well, in case you're still joining us, it's dialogue and every need for us to talk about the trend that seems to be going on, especially in some of our major schools. And we're talking about the issue of bullying, especially as concerns students doing that to their peers, and how much of a problem it has become, especially looking at that viral video that went on. And well, we're talking about the need for parents to do more, as much as also looking at the angle of the school authorities and what they need to do to ensure that well, the act of bullying is definitely, if not stopped, but at least checked to a reasonable extent. And like I said, we still have no other person but Abigail Williams, an educationalist and proprietors of the school, are helping us out with our discourse. Now, let's come to one of the major reaction the school took on account of seeing this video and on account of investigating and finding out that it really happened. The major thing they did was to expel those children involved. Now, we are now in a crossroad. The crossroad we seem to be is that we've come to a situation whereby many schools would rather not take actions on some things they see. You said it before now, that maybe the parents are rich, they do a whole lot during children schools activities. They seem to throw out the cash, and hence we're now finding a set of children that feel they are isolated from discipline. Now let's look at that, because nowadays we see schools eager to get more and more and not reduce the number. Hence, they do not take actions on account of such unnecessary and unruly attitude. Now let's talk about expulsion. Should it be the way to go in dealing or giving bullying a heavy blow to end all of this trend?
All right, thank you very much. On my own perspective, if I should come in, you see, when you expel a child, you expel a student from a school. Like where I'm coming from, if I expel a child, you won't accept that child. Your school will not accept that child. The other school will not accept that child.
Is that how it is now?
But that is not how it is. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Is the expulsion from school the solution?
Okay, let's understand that.
Is it the solution? If this child is expelled from the school, definitely another school will accept that child.
Not wanting to investigate.
Not wanting to investigate what transpired for the expulsion of that child. See, this crave for money is driving this nation to another direction.
Haywire.
Yes, it's driving. The speed is so terrific that everybody just want to get this money. We don't mind how, you see, even in the schools, many people open the school, they don't have awareness of education. That is not their feed. There is no job, oh guy. What do we do? Let's just dash in. The educational section now becomes a public place where anybody, Jack and Harry, can just come into the school. Yes, just for the sake of the money, not for the beauty of that child. You know, these children we're talking about here, the students, they are our future leaders. They are our tomorrow fathers and mothers. So now, if you are expelling that child, will not make that child tomorrow not to be a father.
Of course not.
Or not to be a mother.
Of course not.
So another school is going to accept that child. And then the same issue will continue then. So for me, fine. The school took a drastic action to expel the children, those bullying children, those bad and dubious character. They expel them out of the school. You are expelling them into the society. So for me, I would say, after this, what next? Expelling them is not the issue now. After the expulsion, what next? Something else should follow, because they are still entering into the society. The market is still opened, so they are coming in. So the thing doesn't
be more open.
Yes, the child that is expelled will build another community. We build another rogue. Oh, guy, they've expelled me. That's how they also. So we'll build another room, probably to even fight that school or fight. We've seen the children killing their teachers. Yeah. They will beat the teacher up. So these are the ones that has been spent. So for me, I would have, let's put in the government should put in disciplinary measure. If a child is expelled from school, he should face the government. He should face the law. He should be prosecuted on that.
But the problem is the age grade. 18 is adults.
He's an adult.
Yeah, but when we have minors, teenagers, because if you look at the age of those kids, they could be around 15, 14, 16. So should also the law take
there should be a law that will that will attack that. There should be rules and regulation. If the school can do that, okay. If this school, they have the law, when you do this, this is the penalty. You face it. Let the parents to agree to the school and the government to want their children too. Not because you have all the money and you feel if this one does not work, this will work. After all, these are my children and I know what to do. I'm the one that gave birth to them. And then yet they are affecting the society. Me, I will train my children to be good morals. I will train my children to be godly. And then I will train my children to be disciplined. And then you won't train yours. And then we're going to meet in the same university. These children are going to meet in the same school. And so that child can corrupt my own. So there should be a place, a place of law where these children can be disciplined. They can be beaten. Like that's my community where my other school is now. If a child bullies another child, the parents will be flogged.
Wow.
Now the parents, they told me if we hear anyone like that, the community, that day, I followed them, I drove. I carried the community to the house of that other parent. They gave them their notes that if you don't report to the town hall between this time, you are paying 50,000 naira. And if you float that, you and your father will sit in the community town hall. You will sit on the floor. And then they will tie that to your child. In your very presence, they will beat that child. And after that, if you still continue, they expel you from the community. So if drastic actions like this can be placed, and now this other parent and see this what was done for that child that bullied another child. They will call their children to order. They will warn their children. See, you see what happened to that parent.
No parents would like the children to drag them out.
Drag them out.
You saw that video when the parents were being booed.
But yes, now humiliated. They were wooed them. Even the small ones. They've already seen that. And I saw the video now. Some small, the ones in the basic. I saw them clapping. Ooh, and they were wooing the father. So it's an insult to that man. That man should be ashamed of himself. That parent should be ashamed of himself. These are the same parents that will go to school and tell you if you just beat my child. What will make a teacher to beat a child? Is it not to discipline that child? You brought the children for correction. You brought the children to be molded. Not only educationally, they should train them their morals, their characters, they should build their behavior. And now if a child does wrong, that child should be disciplined. So that the child will not repeat it again. Your child is beaten, and then you come to the school and rant in the school and say, why did you beat my child? Then you do same at home. You do same at home. So you can't spare the rod from correction. Yeah. So the rod and instructions is one of the medium to discipline a child and to bring the child's senses back.
Okay, now let's now come to the side of the government. Do you feel there need to be, in recent time we've been having a spike of minors being sexually harassed, being sexually molested, and it came to a stage that the federal and state government had to put a database for if you were convicted of being a sexual offender, your name, your face will be on that database forever. That's what's happening, and that's it now. Do you feel that can now also be introduced into the issue of bullying? As in, if a school expels a child, no other
should be published.
Should accept them when they are being published. Should that be another major way to count?
It's still a medium to count this unruly behavior. If there is a place like that, they should set it up. The government has to wake up. Like where I'm coming from now, it's just a community. If this community can sit down and say, this thing that is going on in schools is becoming a problem, and we are the parents. You're giving us a bad name. And if this continues, you see, you travel, they say that from where? Nigeria. Because they assume these people are too wide. They can't contain these people. So if they come to our country, they may commit the same nuisance they do in their own country, in our place here. So they may not want to accept them. So our government should sit down. There is one now we're still doing with my chairperson. What is she doing? She moves with the police from school to school, trying to sensitize these children on good morals, good characters, and also explain to them, see, if you do this, the law owes you all this. If you do this, the law owes you all this. Be a good person. So if the government too can also make a thing like that, go around schools. Don't just leave it like that. Go around. You see, it's not enough to give us the license to start operating. Let the government to wake up. Go around the school, because they also copied the Ministry of Education. Okay. With this incident that happened, they copied them and what are their take on this? Are they just keeping quiet? This thing is on educational basis. Are you keeping quiet? What are your take? What are you doing? So if this one now, thank God the boy didn't die. We've had, many have died, and it was not.
Yeah,
it was not. Yes, it was covered.
Go ahead to cover such.
It was covered.
And tell them they feel while playing football.
Yes.
Well, anyway, don't mind. Yes.
And so this one now, it has gone viral. Everyone should sit, not just the family should sit, the home should sit, the school should sit up, then the government too should sit up. Not just leaving these things like that. If we can draw we should map up discipline for this, undermining the age. Even in the nursery section, they boo.
Yeah, of course they do.
They hit.
Yeah. And I've seen cases where the child will even collect the other one's
food and eat.
I tell you,
you can't do anything. And then as you're coming, this is your seat, my crate. And then you just watch and see you sending, and then you pull the seat. And then you
sometimes some of these children are just extremely weak.
Yes.
You wonder where they get to
and gradually they are growing with it if it is not contained. Yeah. So the government were pleading, let them wake up and also draw their own lines. And the school too, let everybody wake up. It happens in the Benedict school today. The next school may be your school. Yeah. So everybody should wake up and checkmate this disease. I see it as a virus that is going around the schools. Everybody should wake, including the class teacher. Everyone, because this is most times they happen in the class. Most times they happened at the back of the school. Sometimes it was even break period. Yeah. So if it means taking the break sometimes out of the school, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, thank you so much for also having your take on this. And well, that's why we're having this discourse. It's there's every need for us to really look at this growing problem of bullying, especially in schools, and try to see how we can really curb it. Just like what our guest said, it's going to take more like a 4-point approach from the parents, from the home, from the school authorities themselves, and most especially from the government, are trying to also create a model that will work to indeed eliminate the issue of bullying, especially as it concerns schools, and that will definitely do. But before I let you go, ma'am, you know, this is even also a funny scenario. And the scenario I'm going to play out is Nigerians are very religious people. We're talking about Christianity, Islam, and even traditional worship. And in all of these three religions, the issue of hitting another is prohibited.
Yeah.
They speak against it, they kick against it, and yet it persists. Now, let's also look at what the religious role or the religious setting can also play in dealing with this problem. Because if you really agree with me, most religious institutions have schools, and this problem does exist in these schools. So let's look at the place of religion in also helping to deal with this contending problem.
It's okay. Like the areas of religion where we have basically three levels of religion. We have the Christianity, we have the Islam, and then we have the traditional. Most times, recently I got to discover that a lot of people pull out their visions from these children. They future more on the adults.
Okay.
So these adults, many of them already been built.
Yes.
We should turn our satellite to this.
From adults and catch them young.
We go to the church, and then the adult church, they just hitting the word, train up your child. The child is in the other church. They are there singing rhymes. They are there clapping and dancing and doing memory verse. And then you teach him. So if at a time, we should turn our eyes to these ones, knowing fully well that these are the future people that are going to take over that institution, that religious sector. We should go in for training. These children should be trained. We should sit down to train. Do you know that they will tell you these children in the other church, children's church, pick some teenagers and some youth to go and teach them. Yes, just keep them busy.
While the adults are the one enjoying the work.
They are the one enjoying it. And so what you don't know, you can give. And so if these children in the church, gather these children, focus on them. Recently, I just pick it up. Let it not just be in the school, and then I only go to preach to adults. Invite us to preach to these children in your church. Let's talk to these children. Let's even bring in, you can bring it as a topic, bullying. Explain it to them in the church.
And the religious
angle. Yes, in the religious angle. Just as we have gathered them in assembly in the school, we have feasted it, then let's still bring it to the church. Let's explain to them the adverse effects. That is even why today you see this religion is fighting the other religion. This one is fighting this because it has not been contained. So if everybody can take it as a responsibility to make the nation a conducive environment for everyone, everybody must stand up to responsibility on building these ones, these little ones. Let's build them, because if you don't build them, when they grow, they will depart.
Most certainly.
They will definitely depart. So let everybody wake up. It's a wake-up call. Not because this thing happened. Yeah. It's a wake-up call. Let everybody wake up. In the religious sector, let's teach these children. In the Islam, let's teach these children. Let's focus our sight on them. Let's give them books. Let's encourage them. Let's be friendly to them. Do you know you can sit, there are children, they have their different kind of temperament. Yeah. Let's study their temperaments. Let's know the area this one is. And let's give the teaching that will commemorate that. Counseling should be raised. Counselors should be raised to talk to these children. There are some children, if you talk to them calmly, you let them tell them you are their friend. Just talk to me. Feel free. That's what I do. Feel free. Talk to me like these children, talk to them like just as we're talking now. Yeah. That's how you should talk to your children. Don't just use up and say, I'm your father, I'm your mother. So anything the child is saying, keep quiet. No, let the child be free. Let the teachers at school and in the church be free. Don't just feel the only people I counsel is adults. Counsel these children. They have a lot to say. They have a lot to say.
I think they will have more to say than
they have more to say. There is one a child came to me after talking to them in assembly, because we do more of prayers. We do more of preaching and prayers. Because one of the ways you can be able to contain these characters is prayers and fasting. We put them on fasting. We do prayers for them. Yes, because that is my own method. Yeah. More of prayers. So parents don't have time to pray for their children. They curse their children. This child, you can't kill me. Your child killing you. We don't say bad words. We want our teachers, you don't say bad words. Even if that child is not coping. Even if that child is not doing well. Don't say wrong words on them. This is your character. I see you as a witch. And then you are saying bad words. This child, they will come to you next time. After assembly, a child came to me and was telling me, he said, "Man, I want to see you." I said, "You're free, my darling. How are you?" The word she told me, I can't even tell the parents.
Wow.
I looked at it. These parents don't even know this child is in this level. I took my time to start teaching this child. I went to another school to talk to children, and a child was crying in the assembly ground. And when we were done, I was going, he said, please allow me to see Dr. Abigail. And they were like restraining her. Why do you want to see her? She's a visitor. She just came to talk to people in school here. And I said, what is the issue? Let her see me. And so she came. She was telling me, he said, ma, when you were talking, I was remorse. He said, my heart broke. He said, please, can I talk to you? Yes, talk to me. He said, at home, another boy insulted her parents. So she can't fight the boy because they are big boys. And then he went to make inquiry. Where can I get power, spiritual power, to fight these people? So she went and they instructed her on the venue and medium to get power. And this girl went at night and she got the power. And she told me she was about to carry it out to kill, not even just to go and fight. She said she makes sure with anger and rage, she said she makes sure she killed the parents of the other boy. He said, but while I was still talking, her heart melt. He said, ma, I won't do it again. How can I come out from this? A child, a student. So if everybody can be open and look to these children, we are in a terrific world already. The world is in a terrific stage right now. If we can pick, why do we have indecent dressing? Why do another child is influencing? Why do we have bad talks? And even in our time now, children are giving birth to children.
Well, we are very well.
So there are a lot of problems. So let everybody, the religious sector, let everybody wake up. The educational sector, everybody should wake up. The home should wake up. Not only giving them food. Have you eaten? Yes. What do you want to buy? Yes. It's not only that. It's far be it. So let everybody sit down and think of a better medium to bring these children back.
Well, anyway, I would really need to thank you. We'll be talking for close to an hour now.
Thank you, sir.
It has been a very interesting one and educative and insightful, talking about the issue of bullying in schools and how that trend can indeed be stopped, especially with that knowing that the children are the very reason we are doing all of this. Many people will tell you the reason they get up in the morning and go back late in the night is all to provide. But when you now provide for a child and the child turns out to be a nuisance, not just to you, but to society as a whole, what have you done? What have you gained at the long run? Well, all of that is what we've had on the show today. And I really need to thank you so much. I'm talking of no other person, but Dr. Mrs.
Thank you very much, sir.
Williams, for coming
thank you, sir.
And giving us this insightful discussion and what needs to be done. And just like you said, everybody really needs to bring their hands on deck to see how we can really solve and end this scourge called the bullying in schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap on the show today, but you know I will never go without insisting that you also send your comments, reactions, and contribution to this discourse and every other discussion we've had on Dialogue. Let's get your insight into it. What needs to be done? What approach should we take? Should it come through the angle of religion? Should it come through the angle of government setting up a law to deal with this person, irrespective of their age? Should it be all about the schools doing more? Or should parents now truly take the lead and train up the children the way they need to train them? Or should it be a more collective effort of all being said? Well, let's get your reactions. Like I said, the social media handles are already there on your screen. Let's get them as it comes, and we'll truly appreciate them. Like I said, the discussion never ends on Dialogue. We always continue talking. But for now, we need to go on a break, and when we'll come back, the news will come around the hour as much as something to trend later right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.